my position is really, I think the question starts off a lot of the time with, does Israel have a right to exist? I reject that notion, or I reject that premise of the conversation. I think the question should be, and the focus should be, does Palestine have a right to exist? Or at the very least, do the Palestinian people have a right to self-determination?
Great. All right, so this video says that, does Israel have a right to exist? Okay, let's get on to this video and check this out.
Yep. If you guys disagree, you can work to the front. So.
Okay.
Hello? There we are.
That's quite the statement. T-shirt in this weather. Yeah.
It's actually very nice out with the sun.
I'm in the shade.
Yeah. So hello, Charlie. My name is Dimitrios. I actually drove 2.5 hours down from the suburbs to come see you. I'm on Prospect. I went to Hersey.
I went to Wheeling.
Yeah. I learned that.
Anyone else from Wheeling? No? Hersey. I will try not to hold that against you. Yes, you should boo Hersey at all times. Yes, you should.
I wouldn't blame you.
Awful color scheme too, by the way.
That's what everyone says. But so I've been seeing your videos for so long. One day, about 2 weeks ago, I was watching your videos, and I'm thinking, damn, just put me in, coach. I want to get in front of you, have a conversation. That would be the best thing ever. I wake up the next morning, and I see you're coming to ISU. I had to come. So here I am. Now, one thing I appreciate about you is that I could find your logical train of thought in a lot of the issues you talk about, which I can relate to and I really appreciate. And also, to the point that you've reached now where you're hanging out with Trump, more than hanging out, you helped him get elected, you're going on Air Force One, you're going to Greenland with Donald Trump Jr. after the proposed conquest of the island. That's some Lewis and Clark type shit. Like, to just see your name written down there. And when I thought that, I was like, that's crazy how a kid from my area can do that.
Honestly, I have to pinch myself that just a kid from Wheeling has been able to. I went to Wheeling.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about me for a second.
No, a kid from Wheeling who went to MacArthur Middle School and Wheeling High School is able to be, in the court of kings and travel the world. It's an only in America success story, truly.
Exactly.
So thank you for saying that.
That is something that I find inspiring, very inspiring to me. However, being that I'm from the same area, I feel in some sense obligated to let you know, sometimes when we get to that point, when we reach the highest of heights, we lose the sense of what's right. And I think I want to go in, like you said, we run the whole gauntlet on abortion. I want to run the gauntlet with Charlie Kirk, Israel, Palestine.
Okay.
So
let's go as fast as we can, though. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you want to run the gauntlet. So why don't you tell me what you believe on it? That's the best way to start.
Well, I was planning on starting. I just want to confirm your belief. Your belief is a one-state solution. Israel's that one state because Israel is the true indigenous people to that land, and therefore they have a right to that land.
I mean, I would say it's a little more complicated than that. Number one, I think Israel's existence is a miracle, not a mistake. The new creation of Israel, 1948, 46. Number two, Israel has a right to exist. And number three, its neighboring government structures are, at best, let's just say, annoyingly evil, at worst, largely illegitimate. And so, mainly the Palestinian Authority. But we could dive deeper into that. Of course, we would welcome a multi-state solution if they're actually acting like states, similar to Jordan or similar to Egypt, not as terrorist proxies. I try not to be too ideological on this topic. I am a Christian, so there is a theological undercurrent and element to it. But anyway, that's my position, and tell me yours.
Yeah, so I think my position is really, I think the question starts off a lot of the time with, does Israel have a right to exist? I reject that notion, or I reject that premise of the conversation. I think Israel does exist. Israel has won the right to exist. The question should be, and the focus should be, does Palestine have a right to exist? Or at the very least, do the Palestinian people have a right to self-determination?
Great. So let's pause there, if that's okay. I don't mean to interrupt you. So what is Palestine? Who are Palestinians? And what geography are they entitled to?
Yeah, so the Palestinian people are the people that live in the land of Palestine. What is the land of Palestine?
Got it. So tell me, what is the land of Palestine?
Okay, so the land of Palestine is the region between Egypt and Syria. It was described by Herodotus as Palestina, and then it was derived off the term Peliset, which is part of the Sea
But
peoples.
Herodotus was way after the creation of the nation of Israel, right? So everything from Egypt to Syria, would that include?
No, between Egypt and Syria, between the Jordan River
Let
and...
me list off a couple things. Does that include Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Hebron, Capernaum?
Yeah, all those areas located on the geographical region of Palestine.
So just so we are clear, Palestinians, and we have to define who those people are.
I'd love to do this.
Yeah, do they have a moral right to set up a government in Tel Aviv?
In Tel Aviv? I don't know.
Well,
I don't think...
You're the one contesting it, so tell me.
So I don't think... So I actually don't think right now, I don't think that's where it's going to go. I think Tel Aviv is the current core of the Israeli state right now. I think if any Palestinian state is going to be established, it's going to be, based around Gaza or the territories in the West Bank. But I think, what's it called? Sorry, I'm hearing this at the same time. Yeah. So, but I'm glad you brought this up because I think your position is that Palestinians as a people group, as an ethnic group, what do you think? Do you see them as a nation?
I need you to tell me, well, it depends. You need to tell me who they are and what does it incorporate. So is every person in Jordan a Palestinian?
No, not every person.
Well, then, okay, but who are the Palestinians? Because most of them are Jordanian refugees.
So the Palestinians are the people that lived in Palestine. I'm going to expand on that. Are you ready? So the first people, they're the people, the Canaanites, thousands of years ago, that mixed. I'm getting to, trust me, I'm smarter than you think about this. I'm not.
You got to go quicker. You're losing the audience. So
the Canaanites.
They're already calling for another question. Yeah. You got to go quicker.
The Canaanites mix in with other groups of people. The Palestinian Christians. Okay, the first people to convert to Christianity. Where were they? They were in the land of Israel, right?
No, you're right. Israel, not Palestine. You're right.
Yeah. Okay, they were in the land of Israel.
You just said it was Israel, not Palestine.
Yeah, I know. But listen. Okay, so those people. So they were the Jews and the indigenous people at that time, right? That converted. Okay. And there's still Christians in that land today, right?
Decreasingly so, but yes, of course.
Okay, so aren't the Palestinian Christians the most indigenous to that region?
Well, no, because the Jews predated them, right? I mean, the land of Canaan, or Judea and Samaria, has been the Jews for well over 5,000 years. Well, yeah, 4,000 years. Mm. And so, again, we can go all the way back to the Mesopotamians, but the most rightful claim to the land is that of the Jews. Let me go back to one final question, though. Let me understand. There are 45 plus Arab majority, Muslim majority countries in the world.
Yes.
Why does one Jewish majority country get so much attention, including your advocacy?
Yes. There's 20 plus Bantu majority countries in Africa. Does that give the black Americans the right to go and return to their homeland and establish a state? No, because when they did do that, when they tried to establish Liberia, they set themselves up as the ruling class. They pushed the indigenous Liberians into the interior, and they eventually got investigated for forced labor practices in 1949.
It was a disaster by President Monroe. I will acknowledge that. But that doesn't answer. I just want, what would you consider to be a resolution to what's happening in the region? We'll end with that.
Okay, so I think Israel, they should, of course, I don't think a peaceful future will exist with Hamas. So I think
Credit to you. That's a morally clear statement.
So I think Israel's focus should be on that. For one, destroying the tunnel networks, getting the hostages back, using their intelligence network that they used in all these decades to assassinate neo-Nazis on all different continents. The Hamas leaderships in different countries. Focus on the leadership. Focus on unconventional means to take out Hamas. And then, you know what? Work with the Palestinian Authority. It's corrupt. I will acknowledge you that. But you know what? It's better than the terrorists.
I find very little to disagree with that. We'll have to take this discussion on at another time. Thank you very much.
I would love to.
Thank you. God bless, man.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
That's a very tough question, you understand, about does Israel have a right to exist? And if yes, does Palestinians have right to also exist? Because you and I know what this very young man is actually asking. It's just all about what that is currently happening between the Israel and the Palestinians. And we'll make our emphasis, on the October 7, when Hamas came to Israel, kidnapped people, rape women, and then take some of them, hostages. I know that, you understand, there has always been, you understand, a dispute between, you understand, the Palestinians and then the Israel. But nevertheless, at the end of the day, Israel will have to go after their people to return those hostages, you understand, back. But in the process, this is why we are where we are today. Now, if you look at it, you understand, if October 7 did not happen, we won't be here, you understand, discussing, you understand, about whether Palestinians, you understand, have right to exist or Israel have right to exist. We all know that Israel have right to exist since the promise of God to the children of Israelite. This is something, you understand, that happened ever since the time of Moses, right? Since right from Egypt, right? All these things, you understand, the children of Israel, what did they do? They were returning back to what? To their land, to their promised land. Of course, we could go back, you understand, to history that we would talk about, you understand, Joseph, the dispute that happened between him and his brothers. He was sold, he became a prime minister in Egypt, and all those things, they established themselves to the point that they grew, and then they needed, you understand, to return back, you understand, to their land because of Pharaoh. But nevertheless, before they left, you understand, their land and come back to Egypt, before they return back, don't forget, it's not only them that were only the children of the Israelite, right? So it means that what they have right, you understand, to their land. People don't always understand, you understand, the state of Israel, and then people always think that Israel only comes to existence in the 1914. No, it's not about, you understand, the United Nations, you understand, resolution that it was recognized as a country. That's at the 1914. That is not what, you understand, we are talking about. So we can go back, you understand, to history, and we could see some of those things, you understand, they are all there. Now let's talk about, you understand, what that is currently happening. Just like how I says that what if October 7 did not happen, we could have not been where we are today. Now Newton Silas says that action and reaction are equal and opposite, and then to every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. The children of Israelite, you understand, were murdered. The children of Israelite were raped. The children of Israelite were taken hostage by Hamas. And then therefore, the government, you understand, of the Israel feels that there is a need for them to go and return back those hostages, and then therefore go to Gaza in order for them to get those people. And if you understand, you do something evil to someone, you can't be able to like determine or says that this is how the person should also repay you or pay you back. And that's why we are where we are today. If all these things could have not happened, will we be here talking about, you understand, whether this one have, you understand, right to exist or not? Now, some people end up what become what war casualty, and that is why you see, you understand, innocent people are being killed today. This is a very vast, you understand, topic. If we want to really discuss more, you understand, about this, we could even use throughout today to talk about this, and it will not even come to an end, because everything that is going on, you understand, in Gaza today, I know that is something that is regrettable. Probably, maybe the Hamas may be regretting why they even do what they did that very day. I know that all these dramas, all these problems, you understand, has been there. But if we keep on, you understand, asking and trying to lay blame, either we says that, oh, the Israel are wrong, the Hamas are right. It's not really about, you understand, because a human is not even supposed to die on that day. But what happened? People were in their country enjoying themselves. That's on the October 7th. And what happened? They got killed. People taken, you understand, to hostage. And then what did you expect? I am not also trying to justify whatever, you understand, Israel is also doing. But in the other way around, they are trying to get their people back. So the best way that maybe probably the Hamas or the Palestinian can do is, why don't you just return those hostages, you understand, to them, so that this thing, you understand, can just stop, so that this war can stop. Just do that. And if you return the hostages and then they keep on, you understand, killing people, that is when we can complain. But then when you do so, and then you do bunkers, and then you do the bunkers, and you build bunkers where, you understand, the civilians are, and then these people, in the process of trying to get their people, end up, you understand, killing people. So a lot of people now become what? War casualties. It's not that, you understand, the Israel want to kill innocent people. It's not that because the Israel want to kill innocent children, because I know that innocent children, you understand, are dying and all those things. It's not that because they want to do it, they want to just get their people. Why don't you give them their people back so that all this war can come to an end? We are not happy to see how children are being murdered. We are not happy, you understand, to see people, innocent people, you understand, being killed, you understand, in all these things. At the end of the day, everything ends on this very earth. And it's all about you and what you do and your right standing with your maker, that is with your God. If this life is being taken away from you, where are you going to find yourself? That's the question that we should be asking ourselves. And I could see everything that is happening between the Israel and Palestine as what the sign of the last day. And Jesus have already made us to understand this in the book of Matthew, that once the end in a sun comes, that kingdom will rise against kingdom, nations will rise against nation. And that is the reasons why some of all these things are happening. Earthquake are happening, famine is happening. All these things in a sun are as a result of all the signs of the last day. It means that Jesus is coming. It's all about you, in a sense, to have to make an intentional, in a sense, decision by accept him, in a sense, into your life. Accept Jesus Christ, in a sense, into your life, so that when this breath is taken away from you, so that at least you can have an eternal life. Else otherwise, if you suffer here on this very earth, you are going to experience worse than whatever, you understand, that you experience here. And that's the eternal word, hellfire. That's not what, you understand, I am praying for you. So it's not really about, you understand, whether Palestine have, you understand, right to exist or Israel have right to exist. We all know that they both have right to exist. It's about them to just decide or understand that we are just here on a temporal basis, and we are going to return back to our home, which is in heaven, and not necessarily about having land or having material possessions and all those. At the end of the day, when you die, what are you going to do with those possessions? Everything still ends here. So it means that people have actually forget about their purpose here on this very earth, and that is why they do what they are doing. Well, I know that this is a very controversial topic, and of course I know that a lot will have things, you know, to say concerning this, and I want to see them at the comment section. And may God bless you as you do so. So this is the end of my video, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.